Grades Integration is a new feature where Blackboard will communicate with PeopleSoft to import the grades. During the testing, we found this feature to work very smoothly. In this presentation, I'd like to share how the Blackboard Grade Center is set up, and then what you would experience to import the grades from PeopleSoft. There will be some common errors, so this is just a heads up as to what to look for and the resolutions for these. In Blackboard, I want to give you a quick overview of the setup. What we want to do is locate and position the CC Final Grade column next to the total grade column, or the weighted, whichever one you're using. Then set the grading schema in the CC Final Grade column for primary display, and set the grading schema in the total column or weighted column for secondary display. That way you will have all the information that you need side by side. So you'll see the percentage. The secondary display will show the letter grade in parentheses, and then you will key the letter grade into the CC Final Grade column. When we look at the grading schemas, there are three options that work in the Campus Connection, and that would be the PRC for the pre-college grading schema. Then we have SUS, which would be satisfactory, unsatisfactory, and then we have the GRD, which would be the graded column. Now these percentages can be changed in Blackboard, so let's take a look at Blackboard. So in the Full Grade Center, we'll take a look first at how to locate and position the CC Final Grade column so it's sitting right next to the total or weighted column. Go to Manage, Column Organization, and this is where you would locate the CC Final Grade, and we could move it to where you want it. Look down in the Not in a Grading Period. You may find it down at the bottom of the window. So at that point you would just grab hold of it and drag it up to the correct position. So I have mine positioned here side by side, and then click Submit. Then when we look at the grading schemas, let's go back to the Manage column, select Grading Schemas, and here you'll find the Campus Connection grading schemas. And you could select the Edit option to check the percentages that are established. Now some of the programs may use different percentages. Go ahead and change to what's accurate for your program or your course, and then click Submit. Also take note, you're able to enter the FN or the FNN for the different grading schemas, or the UN, UNN. So keep that in mind as you're entering the grades. Click OK. So now that we have the columns side by side, and we've checked and made sure that we have the correct grading schema that we want to use, then what I suggest is that we go to the Options menu for the CC Final Grade column, choose Edit Column Information, and where it says Primary Display, that's where you would like to select the grading schema that you would use in Campus Connection. Click Submit, and now we go to the total or weighted column, whichever you use, and do the same, selecting the Options menu, Edit Column Information, and you would want the secondary display to show the grading schema. That way you're going to see the letter grade within parentheses. Students will still see the score or percentage, whichever you have displayed on their side. So that's why we want the secondary display to show you the letter grade that needs to be submitted. Click Submit. So here we see the columns side by side, and we have the secondary display, and we will enter the grades into the columns. And then here I have the percentage, what they should have according to the grading schema, and I could decide whether to overwrite that or not and enter whichever grade is appropriate. And press enter. So everything is set up here now in Blackboard, and moving forward to the next time this course is taught, there is no setup needed. So this is a one-time setup, but entering the grades will be done each semester. I do want to point out that the green check mark is what indicates this column will communicate with PeopleSoft. Okay, so now in PeopleSoft, you're logged in, you're going through Self-Service, Faculty Center, and clicking on the grade roster. Many of you have already gone through this before. Then, down in the lower portion, you'll see Import Grades. Go ahead and click Import Grades, and the grades will be imported from your Blackboard course. Check through just to make sure everything looks accurate. Then, once you click it, there will be a link that shows Grade Import Error Log. And it's recommended to view the log to see what kind of errors popped up. I'll go through those 4 or 5 different common errors that you may see and the easy solution that goes with it. But check the import error log. If everything is looking accurate, then you'll want to select from the approval status that it's approved and then click Save. So now looking at the common errors, the image below shows the type of error or log that you will see. Student does not exist in LMS. Students do not exist in Blackboard, or no grades have been entered in Blackboard for the students. If the students are in Blackboard, grade in Blackboard and then import the grades into Campus Connection. If students do not exist in Blackboard, manually enter the grades in the grade roster. Another error would be student does not exist in the roster. Students exist in Blackboard but are not enrolled in Campus Connection. In this situation, consider what course falls under the Art Science Business Division Office or Technology and Services program. Contact those offices and find out how you should handle the situation. Another would be the grade submitted is not a valid grade for the student. The grade entered in Blackboard is not a valid grade for this class in Campus Connection. You would click on the roster grade drop-down in Campus Solutions to see what grades are valid for this class. Confirm the correct grading schema is selected in Blackboard. The best practice is to enter a valid grade in Blackboard and select to import grades in Campus Connection. This will ensure consistency between the grade in Blackboard and the grade in Campus Connection. Your Blackboard course will be archived for 5, 7 years, and we want to make sure that that information is consistent with what is put in PeopleSoft or Campus Connection. Another error is unable to import grades. Most commonly, the student has a W in Campus Connection, meaning the student has dropped the course. No action is needed. Now, some instructors may have merged courses, and oftentimes this is because there's early entry students combined with the college students. In this situation, each instructor would import for one section, say the college students, and then when they view the import error log, it will indicate that student does not exist on the roster. And that would show up for the early entry students because they're in a different section. Then go to the next section, do the grade import, and you'll see that all the college students are on the error log because they're not included in the early entry section. So in other words, you're just going to go through each of your sections and grade those sections and check the results to ensure that all students are graded correctly. For any assistance, any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, to Wanda. In the Art, Science, and Business Division, contact Valerie. Technology and Services Programs, contact Janet Bell. And in Enrollment Services, contact Carla Dickerson or Barb Mund.